Hey everyone, welcome back to the layout. This week's video is going to be an actual layout update video. Haven't had as many of those recently with the holidays and things like that, but wanted to try to fit in one more before the new year. This is going to be a little different than my normal layout update videos. In the past, we kind of like to settle in a certain town or a certain project and kind of take it from the ground up to a certain point. We did a lot of that in Mill Valley with the building and with the surrounding area. Now this is going to be a little different. I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit. This time of year, just celebrated Thanksgiving at the time of filming this. Christmas is going to be coming up before we know it, and just not a lot of time to really dedicate yourself down here. It's great seeing family, and it's great spending time together, eating all that food and stuff. But you don't have as much time to really dedicate to a big project or anything like that. So for me, I thought it was a good time to kind of just pick up some odds and ends in just some small projects here and there. Whether it's things I've already done, things I've been meaning to do, or things that just need kind of a little bit of a redo. That's what we're going to kind of be doing here. Not sure how many we'll get into, but this is the first one here. We're in Youghiogheny on the layout, which, loosely models Connellsville, Pennsylvania, and this is Route 119, the main highway. This has been done a couple of different times on this layout. The road is just pretty much cardboard. Might have some styrene on the bottom of that, but the piers are just foam. And I've done it a couple of different times, and I just don't like the way it's come out yet. So I'm gonna repaint it. The first time I did lines on this road, I was doing it freehand, and you can kind of tell that if you look closely. So I'm gonna use the electrical tape, for lines. That's gonna make it so much easier. Gonna just repaint it. The road is just too dark of a gray. It needs lightened up. It needs weathering, and the guardrail or the concrete barriers on the edge, I guess is the better term. They're just a little bulky. They look like cardboard because they are, and it just needs spruced up. The piers, like I said, are foam. They are a little too thick. I've thinned them out before, just too bulky. So I want to kind of dull those down a little bit. I might not use foam for all of that. I have some other materials I may use as well. So anywho, this is going to be the first project. I'm probably not going to show you step by step. I'm just going to kind of show you, this is the before, and then after I'm done, kind of show you that next. There are a couple of other things I want to do. Like I said, I don't want to list them out right now because if I give you a list of 6 things I want to get done before the year ends, we all know how that goes. I'm going to get 3 of them done, and you're going to be wondering what I did with the other 3. So this is the first one, and we'll bounce around to others after this. More to come shortly. Alrighty guys, Route 119 bridge I'm going to call complete. First things first, I did mention I wanted to kind of, thin down the piers. While I was looking at more pictures online and remembering in my memory, because I lived in Connellsville for 22 years, that the piers on this bridge are pretty bulky. They're not as thin as some of the more modern ones that I see, living in Ohio now. So I'm going to leave them as is. I am going to weather them. That'll be down the road. But the highway itself up here, I repainted, did a much lighter color. Did the lines on the road with the electrical tape again, which really, I think, came out a lot better. Have some weathering there on the lanes. Also took off the cardboard sides and used some leftover material from the Mill Valley Motors build, that yard sign material. Put a little bit of that on the sides. You probably can't tell, but the sides still need some touch up in some areas, but the original sides were much taller. I think these are a lot more prototypical. I think they look a lot better, and frankly the color looks a lot better. It was a really dark color down here, and you know, my basement isn't the brightest in the world either, so this lighter color looks a lot better. So, small project number 1 of the Route 119 bridge is complete. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, another thing I want to work on is something I built on the very first version of the layout, which was, you know, those 2 4x8 sheets of plywood, is the popsicle stick bridge. Early in my modeling career, I don't know why I painted it red. Listen, we all grow as modelers, and I don't think you should be afraid to show some of your early work. It's kind of encouraging, really, when you come back and you look and say, I've kind of come a little bit of a ways here. So anyway, long story short, I want to change this bridge. Not going to do anything crazy here. Just going to basically take the sides of it off, repaint the bottom, and then I'm going to use the sides of this bridge, and I have some other pieces too, and just kind of put them on the side and change it out. I am going to keep the walkways on the side. You know, that's just, I think, thin cardboard that I painted black. Gonna still use something like that. It'll get detailed more along the way to make it look more like, you know, like a wooden walkway or something like that. But for now, just to get this red bridge out of here, I'm gonna rip that out and change the sides up. Also, you might be wondering where we're at on the layout. That's Mill Valley Motors over there. We're behind the backdrop. This is that dreaded area I never show you. More to come on this in the new year, I'm sure, as I work on the back side of this hill and really just change everything back here. So, but for now, for odds and ends for year end, I want to switch out this bridge. So more to come on that here in a little bit. Alrighty guys, the red popsicle stick bridge is gone. I used those black pieces from another, I don't know if it was Atlas or what kind of brand kit it was for the bridge, but I just kind of glued the sides on, put an extra piece here on the bottom just kind of as a support. I thought it looked kind of cool. Again, just some cardboard here to, you know, cover up the easy track. Like I said, I am going to detail this more with kind of make it look like wood planks or something along those lines. This is to model just a really old bridge that is still existing on the main line. Kind of a custom fit deal here, just because when I did the original layout on the 4x8 sheets of plywood, I didn't do any foam on top of it. So in order to get a bridge on that layout, I had to, you know, drop down, you know, this piece here. So that was a way for me to get a bridge on the old layout, and it's just kind of existed until now. I thought of taking it out, and maybe someday I will, I don't know, but for now, I get the popsicle stick bridge out of there. I'm gonna weather this up, and then the scene back here, like I mentioned, I mean, down below here, I've done nothing but just a little bit of ground foam. And honestly, some of my plaster that I did a long time ago, this needs redone, but that'll be more in the new year. Along with really all the scenery back here. Going to be some form of a farm scene. Back in this area, it's a little bit flatter. So that's kind of what I want to do there. Obviously more trees on that hill in the future to kind of do that scenic divider through there. Yeah, and just kind of fill in, but that'll be more in the new year. But for simple projects, wrapping up the new year, or wrapping up this year, leading into the new year, the bridge was one of them, so we could check that one off the list. Alrighty guys, the third thing that I kind of want to spruce up a little bit is this facility back here. Something I scratch built a long time ago. It was originally going to be a cement plant, but I'm switching gears. Just a little background of where I'm at now. I'm located in Marysville, Ohio, which is where Scott's Miracle-Gro and whatnot is their headquarters. And this part of the layout through here is actually modeling Ohio. And I figured I could do a spin-off of Scott's and do, more of a fertilizer plant here. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet because you guys know I like to spin off names, not use the real names. So, but anyways, this is, I'm sure, not correct, but basically, this is some PVC pipe of different sizes, some styrene on top. These are funnels that didn't get painted, and then some, pieces from kits that were just kind of left over. I know this is not accurate, but it kind of resembles something, right? So basically what I want to do for this is just kind of repaint it, just kind of touch it up. Look into a little bit more details around it, but just something I want to get done before the year is get rid of those red funnels and how they look. I think they kind of work for the top of these, but just want to kind of get everything the same color and make it look a little better, or weather it and whatnot. I'm going to spray paint it. The first time I did this, I used a brush. You can really see the brush marks and things like that. So just want to fix this up. So next clip, you'll be seeing that, hopefully looking a little bit better. Alrighty guys, got the silos painted. At least they don't look like red funnels. Did a little weathering as well. Again, this is not, these are just some small projects to make everything look a little bit more presentable. I'm sure years from now I might do a kit or something for these, for the fertilizer facility here, but I think this takes it to a better step. This is essentially sprue from, well, it is from kits I didn't use, just made it look like something, fertilizer plant E. So a little weathering, little paint gray on these front two silos here, and then the 6 in the back, a little bit more of a tan. I forget the color I used, but just use the 2-in-1 primer spray paint from Home Depot. It works pretty good. So I think it looks a little bit better back here. But again, this is on that back side of the layout. Coming in the new year, there's going to be a whole lot of work done back here. I got to fix that backdrop a little bit. Got to tie into it a little bit better. Do a farm scene, do the trees over here, like I mentioned. So, but for now, just a couple of easy projects to do before 2022 ends. So on to hopefully one more, and then we'll wrap up this odds and ends video. Okay, project number 4, and this might be the last, we'll see, but you guys know I've said it time and time again, my layout is only about 31 inches tall. It's very low for the kiddos, but that brings some obstacles that maybe not everybody else has to deal with. And for me, one of them is this big, ugly outlet that sits in my freight yard. Well, I want to cover that up, and honestly, I've been thinking of, well, I'm going to scratch build something. I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I'll make a hillside, but I thought, you know what, some kind of yard tower would probably make a lot of sense. And again, so I thought maybe scratch building the building. Well, I have a building here that has lived in Huntington on the layout for a while, kind of in the background. Kind of forgot I had it, to be honest. And what I'm going to do is I have another one of these outlets over in Howard. What I'm going to do is try to cut this building in half and do it as a background building to cover up these outlets. Certainly need to do more of tying into the background here, but that's, a long down the road thing. I just want to cover these up. So I'm going to try to cut this in half, see what we come up with, and hopefully cover up an eyesore here. Alrighty, after some cutting, some careful peeling and separating, I have a background building. Now, funny thing about this basement is the outlet here and the outlet in Howard are actually different heights. Go figure. This one here is a little higher, so you can still kind of see the top there poking through. I'm just going to add a little roof details there, like just a, I don't know, kind of like a bulkhead, I guess you would call it, but just to cover up the rest of the outlet there. But I think you get the idea. It covers up the outlet. Yes, I need to tie into that painted on the wall backdrop, which is probably temporary, but at any rate, this covers up the outlet. Let me go show you the one in Howard real quick just to give you an idea of what I did there. Alrighty, here's the other side in Howard. This is just kind of a flat part of the building here with a loading dock and some garage doors. You can see the outlet's a little bit lower on this side. Why they're different heights, who knows, but you get what you get sometimes. And this covers it up nicely here behind the station in Howard. Again, more work needs to be done on the backdrop down the road. You know, a railroad's never done. So, but that's going to probably wrap it up for this video. We did, what, 4 different little mini projects. Some of them took longer than others, but, you know, just some things I've been putting off, you know, maybe because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, maybe because it seemed so little, it wasn't very important. But just to wrap up the year, getting a few things done on the layout here in between the holidays, I think really was beneficial. So that'll be it for this video. There will be one more video this year. It's going to be right around Christmas. Kind of a little Christmas special, I guess you could say, coming from the layout. If you have kids or nieces, nephews, grandkids, whatever, you might want to have them tune in for it. It's not going to be very long. It's not, you know, super detailed, or anything. It's not me showing you how to do things. So might be a little bit more interesting for younger viewers, and it is Christmas themed, and it's a little bit fun. So why not? That's what this channel is about. It's about learning, it's about sharing, and it's about having fun. So this is the last layout update for 2022. Definitely have a lot more to do. A lot more trains to run, lots more buildings to build, things to work on. But we'll put that on the back burner until next year. So everybody out there, have a great holiday season, whatever holiday you are celebrating. You know, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone that is tuning in. Have a happy new year as well. Stay safe this holiday season, and make sure you spend some time with the family. So until 2023, this is Jake from the Mill Valley Sub. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.